Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the daily show that equips leaders and entrepreneurs to achieve their greatest potential. This show is sponsored by Current Leadership Coaching, and they help entrepreneurs excel as leaders so they can create super teams. Find out more about them at currentleadershipcoaching.com. Hey, I hope you're doing great today. And although I'm recording this episode before knowing the election results, I hope it turned out the way I voted. And I'm sorry for everyone who is disappointed by the results. Of course, regardless of the results, now that the election is over, it's time to move on and start supporting whoever was elected. And as I mentioned yesterday, this goes from the President of the U.S. all the way down to your state representatives and the lowest level leaders that you voted for yesterday. You see, in a democracy, that's the way things should work. All of the candidates should have a good campaign, and once the results have been announced, both sides should lick their wounds, so to speak, and get behind whoever wins. Of course, in recent years, that seems to be anything but what has happened. I mean, I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or not, there's just no denying that he has put up with more attacks in his 4 years as president than any other president. Definitely any other president in my lifetime. I mean, he had to battle everyone, including his own political party at times. And yet, all in all, he managed to do okay until this whole COVID crap hit. And to tell you the truth, I'm not sure what to believe or who to believe now. Now, regardless of what candidate you supported and or voted for, it's time for leaders to rise up and start behaving like leaders. It's time to focus on the future and not the past. It's time to put aside all forms of hatred and start working together. And most importantly, it's time to respect all of our leaders, even the ones that we don't necessarily like. And by the way, if you think this is a bit crazy, just hear me out. So most of you listening are leaders of some type and or aspiring to be leaders or at least improving on your leadership. One of the most important things a leader can have, no matter what he or she is leading, is respect from his or her team members. Without respect, a leader is going to be fighting an uphill battle every step of the way. And the team will always be in a stage of team building that just won't ever reach their greatest potential. Most likely, the team will be stuck in the storming stage, much like where our country is right now. In the storming stage, there's always going to be people who respect the leaders, and there's always going to be people who refuse to respect the leaders. And this will always lead to conflict and jaded relationships and communication within your team. And again, all you have to do is look at the U.S. Congress to see an example of this. And our society as a whole, if you want to get right down to it. There's a whole lot of hatred and very little respect. However, respecting our leaders is the very first step to being successful in any organization, team, business, or country. Because when you respect somebody, your level of communication goes from being one-sided to being two-sided. Both sides now begin to listen to each other. And even though they may disagree with each other, they can still communicate in a manner that shows each other respect. So here's the deal. And the choice is totally all yours. Today's challenge is to stand up and accept the responsibility as a leader that it all begins with you. You are the one person that can lead by the right example and show your team that you will respect other leaders, even the ones that you don't agree with. When you lead by this right example, your team members will begin to follow suit because you will be enforcing it. You won't be asking them to do anything that you're not willing to do yourself. You will be asking them to do exactly what you are doing. If you think about it, the drastic polarization in our country is not anyone's fault except our national leaders, because our society is simply following their lead. And just like my mentor, John C. Maxwell, always says, everything rises and falls on leadership. Leaders are the ones who need to lead the charge, and it all begins with respecting each other. So no matter if you were talking about a presidential election, a state election, or a recently promoted leader on your own team, let's all show that we are true leaders and that we can respect our leadership. There is simply no other quote that I feel sums this up better than the quote by Denzel Washington in the movie Remember the Titans. And it was from the part in the movie titled Lessons from the Dead. Because he told his football team, who had a lot of hatred towards each other, you don't have to like each other, but you will respect each other. Man, that's leadership. He demanded that they respected each other. He didn't demand that they liked each other, but he demanded that they respected each other. And that's the first step to being successful. So that's my challenge for you today. Respect everyone, even the people that you disagree with and even the people that you may not like. There's simply no excuse to disrespect anyone. Hey, as a reminder, I want to tell you about this free guide I created just for you that gives you the number one hiring question. And it also works great if you just want to get to know other people. This one question will open the door to many more conversations and tell you a whole lot about the person answering it. If you want this free guide, which also comes with a video, please visit currentleadershipcoaching.com/hiring question. And you can find a direct link to that page in today's show notes. Hey, as always, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Until tomorrow, run to your challenges.